Live from the heart of America, I'm Steve Gruber, your soldier of truth. The tip of the spear against all of those lies from socialists and people trying to tear down this country. I'm ready to fight for you from the foxhole of freedom. Remember to think, please, while it's still legal. This is the Steve Gruber Show. Here's 3 big things you need to know right now. Number 1. I guess it was just a matter of time before a song about heavy girls sung by a gay guy would be just too much for the woke crowd. Fat Bottom Girls by Queen has been canceled. And number 2, in England, a revolt against the Green New Deal has citizens chopping down cameras that would record cars and so forth, not complying. And number 3 today, the Covidnistas. The Covidnistas, they're coming back. They're gearing up to issue new mandates for masks and for mandatory injections of the latest so-called booster shots. You go ahead and line up. I'll not be getting any such thing, by the way, ever. No, I'll not comply with the latest push by the folks at the CDC, the World Health Organization, National Institutes of Health, or Pfizer. Convince me that somehow we're all in danger, and this looks to be a coordinated assault all over again, and surprise. It's all coming just in time to get fully ramped up into the 2024 presidential election cycle. What a shocking coincidence. The virus returns just in time to create havoc for voters trying to toss the incompetent socialists out of office. And you say, Steve, how do you know that masks and COVID vaccines fail to protect us? Well, it's a pretty simple question. Because if masks and the COVID jabs had worked, we wouldn't still be talking about COVID, now would we? No, we wouldn't. Let me be clear. This new round of COVIDism is a lot bigger than maybe you realize. As many as 100 colleges and universities today, 100 colleges and universities in this country are making so-called COVID vaccines mandatory for kids to attend classes this fall, starting right now. No joke. In fact, one college in Atlanta has even put social distancing back in place. Yeah, you heard me right. Morris Brown College has announced a battery of new COVID mitigation policies, but it's only for the next 2 weeks, they claim. The broad new policies include a vigorous mask mandate, physical distancing, a ban on any campus parties, plus temperature checks when students arrive each day for classes. Can you imagine all of that? All of that. It's everything you loved about the pandemic days, and it's all fresh for fall of 2023. Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations. And it's not just Morris Brown. Other places that clearly should know better by now are falling right in line, like Harvard, Georgetown, Rutgers, and New Jersey, where masks and vaccines will be required to be in class starting next week. And if you refuse, you're out. Period. You're out. There's no appeal. There's no process. You take the vaccines as they require. You wear masks inside, socially distancing at the school in Atlanta, Morris Brown, or you're out. Period. They'll not be the last, by the way. They won't be the last. The Covidians are prepping for a large tyrannical rollout. They're phasing in it. Well, they're putting it in place pretty quickly, actually, as we speak. Rumors flying that soon you'll be forced to mask up on planes and subways again. Or you won't travel. Or you'll be told to leave. Remember this as you watch all of this happen. It's just a mask. It's just 6 feet. It's just for 15 days while we flatten the curve. It's just non-essential businesses and non-essential workers. It's just a bar. It's just a restaurant. It's just a school. It's just a plane ride. It's just until they can get things under control. But what they didn't admit then or ever, what they didn't admit was the whole thing they were getting under control was not the virus. It was people like you and me. I, for one, will never go through such a thing ever again. I will never comply with the draconian lockdowns or mandates that the Covidians are trying to force upon us. It's never going to happen. And if you don't think it's serious, let me prove to you it's as serious as a vaccine-induced myocarditis, heart attack, in a young, healthy athlete. That's how serious this is. Listen to this.
The CDC announced a highly mutated strain of COVID has just shown up in Michigan, BA 2.86. How concerned does the public need to be?
Well, right now, I've talked to a number of virologists who are usually pretty staid, and they're pretty concerned about this. Right now, it doesn't appear to be spreading widely. There's 7 strains that have been identified and sequenced in 5 different countries, so the UK, Denmark, Israel, and now in the U.S. We don't know whether or not this has been spreading quietly and we just didn't detect it, or it's something that's spreading very quickly. The concern is that when you look at these different strains that have been identified, they're genetically very similar. So that suggests that it's probably spreading simultaneously in multiple countries. Whether or not this is going to be more transmissible than what we've seen before, that's the key question.
Yeah, that guy should scare the hell out of you. That is Dr. Scott Gottlieb. He is the former FDA commissioner and current Pfizer board member. He was among the Covidian practitioners pushing covidectomies on the general public. And now he wants more. He wants it all. He wants it all. Keep in mind the vaccines from Pfizer, where he is a board member, produced a slew of new billionaires and a whole lot of multimillionaires, too. What it didn't do was slow the spread or stop transmission of the virus, created in a Chinese lab with American taxpayer funding. Yeah, but don't you worry. Dr. Gottlieb says Pfizer's riding to the rescue again, so just roll up your sleeve, guinea pigs. Find out what happens, because the men in the white coats are here to help. Listen.
For those strains, there is a booster shot that I know Pfizer has talked about coming to market soon. It's still not available. When do we expect it, and does it protect against these variants?
Right. So the data looks like the new booster, which is based on BA 1.15, which was the strain that emerged last spring, looks like it will protect against these new variants. Now, my guess is these new variants, this infection rate from this wave of infection from EG5 is going to be coming down by the time the new vaccine's available, which is going to be mid-September. So September 12th has been the date that they've talked about, but it's going to be some point in mid-September that these will be widely accessible in pharmacies and other health departments, and so people can go out and get it.
And it's not just Pfizer and those colleges and universities that I pointed out getting ready. It appears some major retail outlets know something's coming as well. Weird. At least that's the way it appears to some members of Congress. What do I mean? Well, take this, for example. Congresswoman Pam Altendorf from Minnesota found something interesting in the town of Red Wing. The town of Red Wing. It supports the concern that something is afoot for a COVID replay. Listen to this.
They had 4 pickup spots prior where, you could order online and then pick up here at Target. So there's 4. And I've never seen all of those spaces filled. I mean, given, I do admit I don't, patrol around here and look for that all the time. But there's 4 pickup spots. And now, for some reason, Target in Red Wing, Minnesota, is adding onto their parking lot, over here, there's 24 new pickup spots going in the parking lot. 24. So again, we went from 4, which I've never seen filled, to Target is adding 24 new spots. And it does make one question, and I hope you, the public, start to question things as well. But it does make me question, what are they planning for?
Yeah, what are they planning for? What's Target? Why would you go from 4, pickup slots, parking places at the parking lot, for drive-in pickup stuff? 4 aren't filled, but suddenly you need more than 2 dozen new ones? I'll be back as you think about that question. Don't go anywhere.